One of the biggest cons that have taken place in a long time. That took place yesterday. I said yesterday.
Y'all hear that?
Before you say no, you got to let me tell you what I'm talking about.
Tell us, Bishop.
And it is this, and people who have any knowledge of civics knows this.
Y'all know that.
Those who don't know civics don't know.
Bubbleheads.
The media cannot call an election. For people who know civics, they know this. People who don't know civics don't know.
That's right.
It takes the Secretary of State
Bam.
and the elector
Bam.
to call an election.
Not Fox.
The media, along with the Bidens,
okay,
the Harrises, and everybody else,
okay,
knew that as they were accepting elect status, they knew that that was a show.
So let me get this straight, Bishop. You're telling me that they knew that that was a show, but because they also know that their audience and voters are bubbleheads, they know that if they put that impression in the minds of those bubbleheads, in their mind, it's over. It's over. Didn't you see it? It was on TV. How could we not believe that? Look at that. They showed it on Fox. They showed it on CNN. They showed it on MSNBC. So therefore, it's a done deal because they're trusting that none of them know civics. That's what they're trusting. So then, if it gets reversed, they're having a fit. They're the ones who are going to be like, man, dude, they made the announcement back in early, November, man. What y'all talking about? Y'all reversing it. Well, that's because you don't know civics. Thank God for a preacher that does. And he's educating his flock. Let's continue.
There's nothing official took place yesterday.
It was all show. Simple.
Oh, yeah, that's what you learned something. Nothing official took place yesterday.
That's
it
right.
takes the Secretary of State and the electors to make it official. Do you remember when Donald Trump was elected?
Yeah.
You remember how hard
it was hard.
The Democrats worked to try to get the electors
day and night
to not vote in his direction?
Yeah.
Even though the people had sent the electors.
So now, Bishop here is calling out these rats. Whole time, they up here whining, trying to subvert the American people when Trump won. Getting all up in the elections. Well, yeah, you gonna vote for Trump. Hey, no, come here, man, come here. Why you walking away? Come here. I'll talk to you for a minute. Now, look, I know your people voted for Trump, but man, we can't let this happen. Why don't y'all go up there and vote against the will of the people? Well, since they didn't do that, the Democrats' secondary plan coming in to this voting season, we're going to do it the old school way. Cheat. That's what we're going to do. We're going to cheat.
They knew that it was not official then.
Okay.
And it may very well, in the end, go that way.
Now listen to this.
That yesterday was not official. Right now, it is being contested.
Thank you.
However you feel about it, whoever you voted for, that is your business. But there are legitimate reasons for contesting it.
Like what, Bishop?
It is a statistical impossibility for 100,000 votes to come in at one time, and only one of the two candidates get all 100,000 there.
Now, why can't other people think this way? You're telling me that you don't even if you're not statistical, let's just say you got some horrible math skills. Mine aren't the best. It's not my strong point. But my radar goes off when I see 100-something thousand votes come in, all for one person. But yet, these idiots out there are going, man, y'all just whining. Man, y'all up, man, y'all lost. Just be good. I'm going, you don't know why we're questioning some things? Remind me not to put you on my jury to decide my life if you can't smell that rat. Okay? So I don't want you up there. Well, I mean, even though there's no evidence to show anything, I think he's guilty. And vice versa. These folks, they've lost their common sense. But anyway, the bishop has it, and I appreciate him, but he's about to let him have it.
It is a statistical impossibility for 139,000 votes to drop, and one candidate gets 3,000 out of the 139,000.
That's
and the other gets the remaining votes.
Interesting.
For a voting machine in
What was it at, Bishop?
Pennsylvania, I think it was Michigan,
Michigan.
to switch 6,000 votes from one candidate over to the other.
Okay.
And that's called a glitch.
Oh, glitch.
And for all of the weird, glitchy things that took place for all.
So, wait a minute. Now, if I was a reasonable person, if I was a logical person, I would say, well, you know what? If these were real glitches, the glitchiness should be equally distributed, right? You're telling me just like when big tech always get called to Congress and they start asking, no, wait a minute. We had 15 folks that was blocked, 15 folks whose accounts were shut down, deactivated, all of that stuff, but none for any of the liberal folks. And they go, well, it was a mistake. We don't know what happened. We'll look into it. Oh, whoa. Excuse me, bruh. All the mistakes seem to go one direction. How is that? I mean, who was on the wheels of steel? I need to know. Who's the egghead sitting in the basement of Google with his glasses on? Oops, sorry, I messed it up again. It's crazy, man. You know, all these algorithms I'm writing, they just happen. They just happen. Always just shut down all these conservatives. We really need to do something about this. You're telling me that's a coincidence? Thank God for this bishop to keep his flock grounded enough to see this garbage.
All of them to go in one man's favor and to go against the other guy. That's not a glitch.
No, that's not. You are preaching good.
That's not a glitch.
I'm taking a trip to North Carolina. What is it, Bishop?
I watched on CNN where at one point a vote total went up for Joe Biden, and the total for his opponent went down.
Now wait, that's not how that's supposed to work, y'all. So let me get this straight, because I saw that too. They showed something one moment where Trump's numbers were a certain point and Joe Biden's was, and next you know, they swapped. I didn't know that's how it worked. Did y'all? So you're telling me I could just take away some of your votes and get some? You know what? Joe just got 10,000 new votes. Trump just lost 10,000 votes. Does that make any sense? But the bubbleheads, the eggheads, they're all making it all up. Now the bishop is about to dig into everyone. Y'all ready? Man, you might want to hide your kids because he's going to get physical. Here it comes.
Brother, will you put it on the screen?
Put this on the screen.
Now, you see Black Lives Matter, you see the American flag, and look at what's written up there. Now, take that down.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to show y'all, you know what? Normally I don't do this. Normally I don't involve my little tablet, but I want to show all the Christians that were voting, you know, and supporting Joe Biden and Black Lives Matter and Antifa and all of them. I want to show them how they celebrated Joe Biden, okay, coming into office. This is the picture that these folks, I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to find out. You can find out. I'm going to post it a little bit later. They had a sign out there that said this. Let's see what this sign said. Y'all ready for this? Wait, what just happened? Where my speaker? Did I lose sound? Okay, now wait a minute y'all. The blood of Jesus. Why is my sound system dead?
In our nation's capital.
What just happened? I don't know what happened.
Of Black Lives Matter.
Okay, so here we go. Can y'all hear that?
Of Black Lives Matter. Black folk out there celebrating the Biden-Harris win. And in their celebration, they write that on the wall. F your Jesus.
Y'all hear that? I'm going to post that picture in the thing below or on the thing. They had a big sign that said, F your Jesus. F your Jesus. That is how they celebrated Joe Biden's win. F your Jesus. So for all the Christians who, you know what? I'm going out there and I'm voting. Make sure you're back in. Thank you. I'm back. Okay. So for all those Christians that support these garbage organizations, that got Black Lives Matter posted up on their stuff, this is how they celebrated this victory. Now, I had to look at the sign again. I didn't even see this. I don't know where the bishop got it, but when I saw it, my eyeballs almost popped out of my head. How are you going to align yourself with people who feel that way about your religious beliefs? How are you going to do it?
Black Lives Matter.
Uh-huh.
Black folk. Black Lives. You put it on the screen.
Put it on the screen.
Now, see, you see Black Lives Matter. You see the American flag. And look at what's written there. Now, take that down.
Take it down.
That was a celebration last night in our nation's capital. Of Black Lives Matter. Black folk out there celebrating the Biden-Harris win. And in their celebration, they write that on the wall. F your Jesus.
Y'all hear that? F your Jesus. Now, I know yesterday was Sunday, and I'm sure all these folks went into church. Like, thank God Trump's gone, as they have hooked themselves up with an organization and a politician, or should I say party, that has encouraged Black Lives Matter, Marxist, anti-family, heterosexual, all the stuff that these folks probably went in on Sunday, don't even know about, but yet are now, these my boys. We all work together to go ahead and bring this dude into office that's going to eventually not shoot Black Lives Matter in the foot, but shoot them in the foot. And they done blended in with them because they're not open enough to see what's going on. This bishop is, while you're listening to this, I'm going to see if I can find that picture of him. Go ahead. Here we go. Finish, bishop. What in the world is this thing glitching?
I'm at black churches. Okay. That hashtag Black Lives Matter. Okay. Now, you wouldn't hashtag someone if they said F your mama.
Would y'all? Y'all hear that?
You might tag them, but you wouldn't hashtag them.
Tell them, Bishop. So, Bishop made a point. You wouldn't hashtag somebody who said F your mama, but yet they threw it out there, F Jesus, F your Jesus, and all that stuff. And folks just don't care. They don't care. So, I'm going to try to find that picture. Trust me, I'm going to find it before we get out of here. Let's finish.
Sanctified preachers and churches join in on this celebration.
What?
And they call this direction good.
Good? Huh.
There's a case going on.
Now listen to this.
Can you all show what's happening in Texas? Did they get that, Patricia? Show them
in Texas.
I want to show you. Now, that little boy right there, isn't that a handsome little fella?
Yes.
His name is James Younger.
Now, I'm looking at this little boy. Now, understand, I opened up this live chat tonight talking about being able to see the policies of someone you vote for. You're focused on racism, but look at the stuff they're doing behind closed doors. 8-year-old kid, handsome young boy with his father. But let's see what the Democrats have in store for this kid.
Just as handsome as he can be.
Yes.
Show the next slide.
Oh, the next slide. Whoa.
Now,
whoa. Wait a minute, y'all. Now I'm seeing this same little kid sitting next to his mother in a pink dress, full blown, barrette in his hair, same haircut, mother cheesing. Little boy. Okay? Dad, when he had him, dressed like a little boy. Right now, dressed like a little girl. Okay, now, you gotta know who you hook up with. I'm just gonna let y'all know. If this dude would have known, like, man, why do I gotta hook up with the crazy chick that want the little boy to live like a little girl? But nonetheless, that's mama. Let's see how the Democrats feel about it versus Republicans.
Dr. Annie Gorgulis. I hope I said her name. Georgules. Gorgulis. I hope I pronounced it right.
Whatever.
Now, right there with Dr. Gorgulis is the same boy.
That's the same little boy?
But she wants to raise little James Younger as
Luna? So he goes from James.
Judge Mary Brown has ruled in her favor to give her the custody to do this with this little boy.
Interesting.
Now, show the next slide with the picture of the boy. Now, that's the little boy. That's his mother with a wig on.
I see.
Now, standing behind little James Young
is what?
Is his twin brother.
Now, you see, do you see the plot thickening and unfolding? So now, down in Texas, which is primarily a conservative state, this woman goes to war against her ex-husband to get custody of the little boy so that she can raise the little boy as Luna. The dad still got enough sense to say, that's crazy. Let's see what the courts decide. Okay, and which one of our candidates support this type of lunacy? Not Luna, but lunacy. Let's see which one of our courts or our parties support what.
So dad wanted to keep his son from being
what?
From being mutilated.
There you go. Okay.
Mom has won permission,
so she won
court.
Whoa.
To have this mutilation done on her son.
So y'all hear that? So battle between mom and dad. Mom wins. She gets custody of the son to raise this little boy as Luna. Now, I don't know about y'all. If I had a son, I'm telling you right now, I would have had to take the boy and we would be on the next plane to Guatemala or something. They would not be able to do this to my son. But yet, this one is making it her mission. It's not even like the kid is going, yes, mom, this is a problem. I want to live like this. Mom, for whatever reason, maybe she wanted a girl, and didn't get one. I don't know. But nonetheless, she wanted to show this one, an 8-year-old boy. Now, as a responsible, president or, senators or House representatives, you would think that the first thing hits your mind is that kid's 8. What are you talking about? How about that kid grows up, find out what's going on the inside, then that kid can make that choice. But I'm not going to let mom or dad shove that down his throat. At 8 years old, but not the Democrats and not Joe Biden. So let's see how this preacher right here ties this all together.
It gained national attention.
Yeah, because I remember
Senator Ted Cruz, Representative Dan Crenshaw,
okay,
Governor Greg Abbott,
there you go,
and Attorney General Ken Paxton,
bam,
commented on the case. It's just interesting to me that all the people arguing in the boy's favor, and I'm a registered independent, are Republicans.
What? Get out of here. So you mean to tell me we don't have any crazy, whack Republicans who done suspended all of their reality, all of the science, all of that, to come out and just say, well, you know what, this little boy thinks he's a little girl, the mother wants him to think he's a little girl. She should have the right to do that. Why aren't any of the Republicans supporting this crap? But yet, let's find out who is supporting this crap for all of those folks who hitched their wagon to Joe Biden over the last couple days.
I showed you last week where that kind, loving man who gave that wonderful speech last night, I showed you where he says that if something like that happened,
right,
that there should be no discrimination.
What? So wait a minute. Joe Biden, because I remember that, at the town meeting where the lady got up and said, I don't think the Trump administration would be very favorable to the LGBTQIXZ and all this stuff. I don't think so. How would you feel about a 8-year-old or whatever becoming a transgender kid? And Joe Biden, I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't think you should discriminate against it. But yet every Christian that went and said, click it, I'm fighting against racism, was fighting for that. That's what you're doing. Thinking you're fighting against racism, but fighting against little Luna, who, there's going to be racist Luna, I guess. Joe Biden, those are his policies. Yeah, those are his policies. So instead of checking to see, wait a minute, let me do a background check on this dude's morality, his spirituality. How does he, regardless of personality, line up with my personal beliefs? So now, you, Mr. Christian or Mrs. Christian or Mr. Moral, Mrs. Moral person, you go in and you have a kid, and yet you'll get in and pass the Civil Rights Act, and then your kid at 4 or 5 come talking about somebody think I'm a little boy or a little girl, and you go, that's crazy. And the counselor at the school hears about this, and all of a sudden they're talking about, yeah, we get to take your kid under the Civil Rights Act. This is child abuse. to not let little James be raised as Luna at 8 years old. You see the craziness? Do you see where we're at with this mess? Y'all, I'm trying to keep it together. We're going to get through this real quick.
Now, if you think
Right.
that this is a good direction for the country,
Do you?
something is wrong.
Yes, it is, Bishop. Something is wrong. Now, did y'all hear that? Because I'm going to let you know, if I did a survey tomorrow and asked all of the folks around this country, what percentage of y'all would be okay with little James here being snatched from his father, who wants James to grow up as James, and give it to his mother so she can raise him as Luna? Most folks, except for folks in Hollywood and out there in New York, the same folks who sit back and lecture us about stuff, talking about I'm leaving the country and all that here. Do you think, how many church folks you think would be going, that sounds okay to me? Yeah. No, I don't think a lot of them would be doing that or saying it. But you know what? Forget that. Because they don't focus on stuff like that. They focus on racism. And Trump, he doesn't speak good, even though he would never let that happen. But your guy who you voted for will.
Oh, cussing Jesus.
They're cursing Jesus. What else?
For letting a little boy, how old is this boy?
8.
He's 8.
8 years old.
He's 8. And remember, in the town hall, it may have been this lady.
Right.
Parent asked Joe Biden, said, President Bush, President Trump is against transgender.
Right. He's not, but nonetheless, that's what he's saying.
My 8-year-old wants to have a sex change.
Okay.
And I am for it. What do you say?
What did he say?
His answer was, there should be no discrimination.
What?
You heard it. People heard it.
I did.
But we live in a day where things like that now don't matter.
Don't matter.
Like that now don't matter.
Y'all hear that?
President Trump has said a lot of things that I would not have said, that I found distasteful, and some of them I found despicable.
Okay, but what?
But he never said, I like having kids jump in my lap.
Wait! Now he's going to church. He said President Trump ain't perfect. Done said a lot of things I didn't like. Some I felt it was despicable, but I've never heard Trump say, I like little kids sitting on my lap. It's like folks didn't even hear that. I sent out a full reel of Joe Biden touching and rubbing on little kids, little girls, sniffing them, caressing their face, trying to kiss them against the wheel, all of that. I sent it to folks who should have been repulsed by that. But because they've been mesmerized over racism and stuff, forget pedophilia, forget that. Forget him feeling up a little girl who's uncomfortable with you touching him. Whole body is doing this, and you're going, well, I'd rather have Biden in there doing that to little kids than it be having a racist white nationalist in the office. See, this is the type of stuff, y'all, that's pushing America right over the edge. Now, I know I might come across as a little dog, man. Well, so what? Because right now, I feel some kind of way about this. Finish this, Bishop.
Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Because Joe said it.
He did say
Like
it.
kids jumping in my... What
Like
kind of grown man?
What kind of grown man? Just say, Bishop.
Yo, looking at me.
Nah, I ain't looking at you. I'm looking at you. Basically,
I don't know why you're looking at me. Well, I'm going to look at you too.
Yeah. All of those who think that's okay.
I mean, he really did say it. I'm not misquoting. I'm not even quoting out of context.
No, it's the truth.
The question you got to ask yourself is,
What?
is this a good thing for our nation? As soon as I turned the television on this morning,
What'd you see?
you turn it on, automatically go to Spectrum News.
Spectrum News. Okay. What'd you see, Bishop? What'd you see? You ready?
It was talking about all the joy
The joy.
in the LGBTQ community.
Celebrate.
Showed a lady and her, I can't see it. The president, she married to a woman.
He's having a hard time.
That's hard to get out.
Okay. Okay.
So they're gonna celebrate tonight.
Okay.
Have a few friends over.
Your friends. Okay.
That kind of a thing.
Now listen what he said.
They're happy.
They're happy.
Planned Parenthood,
Happy.
they are as happy as they can be.
Yes, they are.
Because funding time will soon be back.
All of the stuff that Christians oppose or don't support is happy. So the first question I have to you is, if they're happy, then you have to ask yourself, why are they happy? And am I happy about what they're happy about? Or have I been tricked to be happy about a false narrative that I done bought into somehow, overlooking all of the other stuff that I should not be happy about? Now, once again, I'm not here to judge individuals, but when you look at that group of radicals, when it comes down to their own personal decisions, they don't embrace that like that. They don't say, this is my choice. No, they say, this is how I've been made, and you guys don't accept that. You guys are the problem. That's what it is. And if you say you don't accept it or believe it, then we're going to demonize and attack you, period. And we don't want to be discreet about our own personal lifestyle. No. We want to be flamboyant. We want to put it right out there in the open. We want to teach your kids this stuff in the kindergarten. We want to throw it on TV. We want to make it normal. We want folks, when they turn on the TV, laughing with the kids and the cartoon characters are kissing each other. Two little boy cartoon characters are, man, the kids shouldn't even go, mom or dad, why are these two boy cartoons, these two boy mice kissing each other? No, they don't even question that anymore, because it'll just be mainstream instead of keeping your personal choice. And I am not discriminating. If you are heterosexual, keep your mess to yourself. You don't need to be coming out, I guess what I did yesterday on that, and I was doing stuff in the back, and no, nobody cares. Nobody cares what they do in their community. But when you start legislating this stuff and start celebrating because you voted in someone that will legislate it, and Christians are in that same crowd with you going, how did you get in that crowd?
So you got the LBGT, who is excited. Planned Parenthood is excited. BLM is very excited.
Yes, they are.
They're telling Jesus,
F you,
Jesus.
That's how excited they are.
Them and Church of God in Christ.
All these folks
excited.
Very excited. Yay! Trump's going F Jesus. Yeah. That's who they partnered up.
Baptists and Methodist churches.
Anytime.
The church, the witches, the warlocks, the abominable, the pedophiles, and people like that, all of them are rejoicing in the same arena for the same thing. That ought to tell you something's wrong.
Oh, now did y'all get that revelation? I wish I could take that sound bite and send it out to every church on Sunday. So you got all of these groups that, regardless of your personal beliefs, okay, but from a religious standpoint, you disagree with a lot of the stuff. The abortion clinics, all of that. But yet they're all happy. Why is that? You got to ask yourself, why is that? So when Trump comes out and he supports and protects a lot of things that Christians support and protect, and they're mad at Trump, are they really mad at Trump? Are they mad at what Trump represents? Are they mad at Trump, or are they mad at Trump protecting things that the same folks that went out and voted for Biden rely on? That same protection that they are trying to vote away ignorantly. Okay, these folks hate Trump, and yet Biden comes in and supports all their stuff. And yet they celebrate. And church folks out there like, yeah, I'm in the same group, yeah. Why are y'all happy again? Oh, I don't support that. But so what? Racism. See, man, I'll tell you, we're in trouble.
I don't know.
Not one. Listen,
and I'm hoping that someone would tell me.
Yes, me too. Listen to the show.
YouTube Live, Facebook Live, I've made you so mad that you tuned me out.
Okay.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Of any policy.
Hear this and hear good.
In the 4 years of his reign. Any policy.
Okay.
I said policy.
Policy, not personality.
You said policy. I don't know of any policy or position in the 4 years of his reign.
Here it comes.
That Donald Trump took that you'd have to agree with at the expense
support 99% of his policies, but that one policy, I mean, you know, that right there, I'm willing to throw my religion to the side and support it, okay? But because I just think the 99 part is way more important. Not one. I can't think of one. See, because the narrative is, yo, the left gonna tell us how to be Christians. You know how Don Lemon and all them are. How can Christians support this man? All of that stuff, because they don't know spiritual things. They don't know why we support Trump, because they want to undermine it. Trump gets under their skin. They think it's just his personality, but it's what his policies represent. Bringing things back to the country and also making folks feel comfortable about being who they are, believing what they want to believe, and not being called some type of bigot. Nobody wants to hear that mess. You live the way you want. I'm not going to disrespect you. You don't disrespect me. Everybody lives okay. But when folks decided I want to cross over into y'all mix and tell y'all what to think and what to do, then it became a problem. It's a problem, man. Just as much as they don't want the church folks walking up into whatever organization they have with Bibles and hitting them in the head, we don't want them coming in there muscling them to do that. Well, I know you're the church. You probably don't believe in any of this stuff. But you know what? I'm going to force you. See, that right there is a recipe for disaster, and that is why Christians voted for Trump. Now, whether you're a Christian or not, his policy still brings common sense and morality to our society. You don't let an 8-year-old have a gender reassignment. You ain't even got to be a Christian to know that sounds ridiculous. Anyway, Bishop's about to go ahead and take us all home. Feel like I have.
Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi. Bag of bones? Monkey poke? Come on, give me a win. Biden?
Already, before the electors, before the secretaries of state put ink on the paper,
what did they talk about?
they're already talking about passing that Equality Act.
So you mean to tell me, Bishop, they ain't even sworn in, and they are prioritizing the Equality Act? I mean, is it that important? Are we under an epidemic that is persecuting transgender men and gay men? And I mean, right now, there's 2 classes of people who are walking around kind of, you know, untouchable, diplomatic immunity. That is black folks, because they've been telling everybody that, oh, everybody's racist and systemic racism. So now we got kids breaking into windows, tearing up stuff, burning stuff, and ain't nobody doing nothing. Nobody's doing anything. So for black folks to be